Hi Taurus, and welcome to your June 2023 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky coming on to talk to you about your month ahead. I hope you're all doing really well and enjoying this wonderful solstice energy that we're approaching in June. As usual, I will be doing some intuitive messages for Taurus Sun, Moon, Rising, and Stellium people, as well as a week-to-week tarot forecast and an extended reading linked below on Patreon. If the reading resonates, be sure to subscribe to this channel and come check out the extended if you haven't been over to Patreon yet. So anyway, Taurus, wow, how time flies and how surreal it is to cross certain thresholds, and how much sometimes we realize that we've deprived ourselves of a certain level of ease. And now I feel with June 2023, you are stepping into the real path, and you're not withholding yourself or withdrawing yourself from the way that you need to move forward. So there's a lot that I have to talk about for your sign. We're coming out of a period of time where we had that huge Taurus stellium. There's still some stuff remaining in Taurus, of course. Right now we have the North Node, Jupiter, Uranus, and it's been a very, very Taurian period of time. And this Jupiter North Node conjunction has a lot of significance for you as you start to not really be able to deny your greater purpose. And also you start to realize what has been a valuable investment of energy and what has maybe been more of an overkill move, or more of a oversaturated or kind of out of time move. So there's a critique coming in this month that happens at the level of self for all Taurus people. And what then happens is that you go into a major phase of rebalancing. You have the Temperance card, the Judgment card, the Hanged Man, and the Empress, 4 major arcana cards. I always say if there are 3 or more, that it's going to be a month to remember. So I think that June will be very memorable for you all. Combining those energies together, I feel that the entire focus in your life has to come to a more central place and not be so edgy or not be so polarized. So hot or cold reactions, all or nothing responses, go big or go home mentality is fading out, and you have to start finding more of a position of moderation during this time. And it's going to start really at the cellular or health area of the body. So one of the detriments of the North Node in Taurus over this last year and a half has been that people have been trying to heal their body, heal their mental health, heal their autoimmune diseases through things like career, status, money. And I feel that a lot of people have basically had voids or have had compensation grids as the negative part of this transit. And what the sign of Taurus is having to do now is it's having to basically now truly compensate for that. So it depends on how you've channeled this energy over the last year and a half, because certainly there are many Taurus people who've done it well, who have stepped into a more pure form of purpose, who have aligned themselves with the right people, the right connections, and have also managed their health at the same time. In that case, you're going to have probably a perfectly timed promotion or a perfectly timed marriage, or coming together during this time with other people with good health. Now, if things have kind of gone the more difficult path with this transit, it's probably going to be a lot of things that feel kind of vapid, or also a lot of facades or edifices, I more so want to say. You know how sometimes buildings or architecture, most architecture has an edifice, and it doesn't necessarily represent the true shape of the building, all right? Taking time in this month of June to look at the edifices in your life and to decide whether or not those edifices match who you are. So identity crisis stuff, absolutely. There's a really good opportunity in June to rebalance who you are and to make sure that who you are inside is congruent with what you're expressing outside. So Yeah, I mean, we can go down a lot of like tough love rabbit holes here, but like, you know, are those 3 iced lattes a day who you are? Is all of the like contraband who you are? Is all of the plastic surgery who you are? Is that other person that is kind of like, your plus one in every situation who you are now? Like, I feel that we have to start really letting who we are inside emanate and stop like trying to like over compensate by copy and pasting other people's edifices as our own. So we have like group psychology and popularity themes kind of coming up here for you guys. And the Taurus people who really succeed from this point out, I feel that they emanate a certain like self-perception from the inside out that may go against the grain of like what is considered popular right now. And I feel that there's sort of like a secret formula that you guys have along these lines where like who you are inside is already good enough or already well enough to like basically do what it is that you're after. But yeah, a lot of Taurus people are going to feel like I'm going to have all this plastic surgery. I'm going to have, all kinds of monetary regimes in place, or I'm going to have to like be completely, I don't know what it is, but like you need to trust that maybe what you already have is in a state of value, and then being able to like not be held back by the past, or being able to truly say that you've overcome certain trauma spectrums, and taking off blame of people from the past, or looking differently at people of the past, will start to create a completely different, present-oriented, healthier version of you. And I will say that that's going to be very important in June as well, as you guys face some turning points, like making sure that a lot of your energy isn't still going to people in the past, or isn't still, invested or bonded to experiences. I talked about this for Pisces as well this month, bonded to experiences that are no longer actually in the present. That's how we really lose our time. That's kind of like very vampiric, isn't it? And, being on the losing end of that is still harboring anger or still harboring resentment towards people who aren't here anymore. So it's a very present-oriented month. And it's a very powerful month also for being balanced enough to chart a new path. I love this Two of Wands energy coming up. I love the Judgment card, the Temperance card, and the Empress. Very much more easier it can be to basically make ends meet. And also, you're going to have maybe some really powerful aha moments about like, okay, it used to take me many weeks to do that kind of job, and now I have delegation, or now I have ways that this is not nearly as hard as it used to be, but because of that it becomes more meaningful, or it becomes higher quality. So definitely take that into account this month as well. Like, how can I up my quality? How can I give more? How can I work more smartly with better leverage? Can you use the word smart like that? I don't know, but how can I work more efficiently? Anyway, Taurus, let's get into the week to week. I'm kind of rambling about efficiency, but week number 1, the Temperance card rooted down by the Empress. Beautiful, beautiful combination of energies there. I love those cards together. Balanced reception, healthy bliss, trust in the health of your body as a building block for everything else, rather than like money as a building block for everything, or career as a building block for everything. Health is where it's at for you guys. Also, I feel in the first week of June that you have some type of knowledge, you have some type of understanding, with the nodes having been on your axis for so long now, and Jupiter being there, that big Taurus stellium we've had over the last month. You have some type of understanding that does not come easily, or that maybe other people don't. So there's it's almost like the energy of like a trademark at like a spiritual level, I guess, where it's like you have some type of like proprietary knowledge or something that gives you an edge up. And it's not even about like profiting off of that. It's more like I don't know, maybe your prayer ability is really strong, or your ability to understand the way that time works, or the way that also seasonality of life experiences work, the way the wheel turns, basically, gives you this sort of like calmness, peace, wisdom, or tranquility. And that's where it's at for you guys. I mean, I could end the reading there, but we still got more to talk about. But that's where it's at for you guys. As compared to like, oh my God, I have free time. I need to fill that up with like some type of money making regime. I need to like fill up all my free time with like networking or studying or doing something like active, like that. You remember when we were talking about that hyper factory oriented energy that was coming up all throughout 2021 and 2022 when Saturn and Uranus were square in your sign and Aquarius? Well, we really see a true change by now from that, and more of a like, I don't have to produce like a factory. I'm a human, and I trust in some type of higher power. So getting out of that sort of like manic productive energy, and just feeling pretty like sturdy and solid, come what may. Week 2, the Judgment card rooted down by the Two of Swords. Realizations about boundaries. Some of you have boundaries that are too high, so you might be blocking off certain opportunities. You might need to get yourself out there more. There's some kind of wake-up call coming in the second week regarding walls, your house, or anything that is a protective function in your life. The skin, the skin barrier. This is very Saturnian energy here. Also, societal barriers as well, class relations, or what it takes to be in a certain like position, like all these barriers or all these thresholds, all of this kind of like Sphinx-like math that we have to do in order to sort of cross thresholds. And I've been talking for a lot of the other signs this month about how there is a threshold in June, and a lot of people are crossing a certain threshold here. And by the time we get to July, we're going to be looking back and we're going to be like, okay, yes, my whole life has changed, or some very strong, long-running part of me has now turned or started to go a different direction. It's very much in line with like 7-year cycles. Every 7 years, the body turns over. So maybe looking back to like 2016 and thinking about, wow, what happened then? And like now in 2023, what would that mean for a whole turnover since then? And what has healed and what can never be really changed at this point in time, or what can never really be pulled back into focus now? And how is that a relief? So in the context of the second week of June, are there older barriers or older security measures that you can start to change here? If you had your heart broken or something all that time ago, can you start to put yourself back out there? Can you start also to open up to things that you've prevented yourself from before? Okay, so like all of those ideas, like I can never make more than this amount of money, or I can never get into that area. Like you'd be surprised at how you can kind of move to where you've needed to be now. The third week, you have the Hanged Man rooted down by the Page of Cups reversed. Okay, interesting symmetry with that. So this is the only reversal in your reading, and it kind of makes it like do the same thing that the Hanged Man is doing, so that you're turning something upside down. You are looking at something in a very different way in the third week. You could be like upside down as well, like financially, or there could be some kind of like system in your life that's just totally upside down. It's totally not viable. It's completely like draining you, and it's not really giving much back. Take a look at things like that. Relationships that are upside down. Also things where like, how do I explain? There is a stubbornness or a, like, that someone's done you wrong, or that somebody was manipulative in a story, but like you still give them grace, or you still give them like, well, I'm not sure that they actually did that, but you like totally know, or you totally know that there was some type of like corruption or some type of like rotten experience, but like you're still maybe telling people that it still smells like roses, or you're needing for certain stories to like evoke a certain feeling, but maybe it's not real, maybe it's not true. So this is like perception, right? We're kind of getting into a territory like maybe you were like gaslit by someone, or maybe there's like a trauma that relates to like, okay, other people have made me believe something, and I'm still kind of reinforcing that. But I feel that in the third week of June, Taurus, what happens is you start to cut through the BS, or you start to like really the gaslighting is not working, and that's at an external and internal level, okay? So we have to see people for who they are now, who they were. And yes, there is the grace of time here. There is in the third week of June and moving into July 2023, time starts to set things right, and time doesn't lie, okay? So part of this calm, wonderful, wonderful, peaceful energy that we were talking about in the first week of this month relies on truth and relies on divvying out, I suppose, accountability in a way that is equitable or is moral or real. And I feel like that starts with you. So like giving yourself what you deserve. Are other people giving you what you deserve? Does your rose-colored glasses perhaps to another person give you what you deserve by like playing up someone's good sides, or by like believing a happier story than perhaps it truly is? Is that giving you what you deserve? Okay, these are kind of like hard philosophical questions, but I feel there's something here for you all. Also in the third week, that's when we're hitting Cancer season. It's going to slow down a little bit, and you're going to like have time to really replace, or when I say replace, I mean like placing people differently perhaps, or placing, I don't even want to say like labels, but like definitely be very careful with things like my best friend of like more than a decade can only ever do me well, and because of the long-running friendship, I have trust that can never be broken. Anything that's like, I'll trust that person forever, or I will never trust that person again, or I will never believe that type of person, even like very blanket like stereotypes like this, where it's like that type of person who works that kind of job, I would never let like come to my house or something. Like any of these like blanketing, whether this is from you or from like another person, like you want to watch out for stubbornness and shadow, right? Because we're going to get really surprised, especially in these next few years. So like 2023 is a child's play when it comes to this kind of stuff, but the latter part of Saturn in Pisces, so 24, 5 and 6, it's going to be like, oh my God, all of these people that I confided in or trusted just because that was like the status quo of the relationship are now like really impossible. Like now I have like business contracts with them, or now it's like I have given them all of my money, or they now live in my house or something and they can't go, or like I don't know, things get weird. So what I'm trying to say here is like trust is a hard-earned thing, and maybe there's a reevaluation process for like how we bestow it, or also how we use the past as a lens to distribute it in the future. I don't know, there's something about the doctrine that we're using to distribute trust, or distribute, I don't know, like ethics of like how we integrate people into our life, that may need reworking here, because something's upside down. So week number 4, the 3 of Cups rooted down by the 2 of Wands. Very hopeful, very hopeful. New friends, new support network. This is what's needing to happen for you guys. It's like maybe there's too strict of, or like maybe you've given someone a hard time. Maybe you've been given a hard time. You need more like friendship and kinship in your life. And that's rooted down by the 2 of Wands. Like maybe you need to expand your horizons. Maybe you need to learn a new language. Maybe you need to do something in a different territory. And I feel that in order to give that to yourself, you would have to kind of like open up the barriers a little bit. So yeah, it's definitely a month of breaking barriers, of like traversing and gaining a new calmness for your journey ahead. And anyway, Taurus, I've kind of gone on and on in this reading. It's been a nice stream of consciousness. I hope you enjoyed it. I am going to do an extended for you guys on Patreon where we'll get a central theme, supporting themes, and a significator card. And let's talk more about actually getting to that area that I love so much in the beginning of the reading, the Temperance and the Temperance and Empress card, that sort of balanced and calm, prosperous energy. Let's go more into that in the extended and just see what else comes up. That'll be linked below and in the center of your screen. Have a beautiful month ahead, Taurus. Thank you. Bye.